I've got to warn you guys, these stories will leave you never wanting to step outside in the rain ever again. Here are 3 very scary true rainy night horror stories. Number 3, The Hitchhiker. I was driving home from work one night around midnight. It had been raining for hours and the roads were slick. All of a sudden, I saw a girl walking on the side of the road with her thumb out. She looked like she was about 20 years old and was wearing a long red coat. I rolled down my window and asked her if she wanted a ride. She said yes and jumped into my car. She was soaking wet and shivering. I asked her where she was headed and she said she didn't know. She had just been walking along the road and didn't want to get pneumonia. I told her I could drive her to the nearest hospital, but she declined and asked me to pull over at the next gas station. I agreed and we pulled into the brightly lit gas station. As soon as she stepped out of the car, I noticed something strange. Her feet were gone. Instead of feet, she had 2 large black holes that seemed to be sucking the air out of the car. I slammed the car into reverse and backed away from her as fast as I could. As I turned to go, I saw the girl standing in the middle of the pumps with her hands outstretched, as if trying to reach inside my car. Her eyes were wide and filled with an insatiable hunger. I floored it and sped away, backing up several miles before stopping. I called 911 and reported what I had seen. They sent officers to the gas station to investigate, but they found nothing. They said there was no record of any missing persons or recent accidents in the area, and the only thing that was out of the ordinary was my story. The police let me go and I never heard from them again. But sometimes when I'm driving home late at night, I think I see her standing by the road, waiting for a ride. I always keep my windows rolled up now, and I never pick up hitchhikers anymore. Number 2, The Creature in the Woods. I grew up on a farm in the countryside, and one of my chores was to feed the animals. One particular rainy night, I was feeding the pigs when I heard a loud crash in the forest behind our property. I turned around and saw a huge shape moving through the trees. It was tall and thin and seemed to be made of twisted branches and leaves. I started screaming and ran to the house, but the creature kept coming. My dad came out to see what all the commotion was about, and when he saw the creature, he grabbed my arm and pulled me back inside. We watched as the creature emerged from the forest. It was about 7 feet tall and looked like it had been assembled from the parts of dead trees. Its branches were long and spindly, and its leaves were wet and dripping. It took a few steps towards us and then collapsed. My dad and I stared at it in disbelief and fear. And then it started to move again. This time it shuffled away from us and disappeared back into the trees. We didn't see it again for several weeks. Then one day we found some disturbing evidence of its existence. We found a small cave hidden behind some rocks, and inside the cave was a pile of bones. The bones were human, and it was clear that the creature had been using the cave as a shelter. We called the police, and they came to investigate. They found the bones and sent them to a lab for testing, but they couldn't identify them because they were so old. The police also searched for the creature, but they never found any trace of it. Some days I still hear strange noises in the woods, and I can't help but wonder if it is still out there. Number 1, The Vanishing Hitchhiker. I used to drive a taxi, and one night I picked up a young woman who said she needed a ride to the cemetery on the other side of town. It was late at night, and the cemetery was at least 30 minutes away. I asked her if she was sure she wanted to go there because it wasn't safe to be driving around at this hour. But she insisted and told me to just drive. The whole way to the cemetery, I kept getting the feeling that I was being watched. I tried to shake off the feeling, but it only got worse. When we finally arrived at the cemetery, I asked the woman to get out and pay me. She said she didn't have any money, but I told her that I needed to be paid for the ride. She started digging through her purse and pulled out a handful of coins. I told her that wouldn't be enough to cover the gas that we used, but she insisted that it was all she had. She paid me the coins and I watched her walk away. I thought nothing of it until I got home and checked my security footage. When I reviewed the footage, I saw that the woman had never gotten out of my car. I immediately called the police and reported her missing. They told me they would look into it, but I don't think they took me seriously. Maybe they thought I had kidnapped her and taken her to the cemetery. The police never found her, and I haven't seen her since. To this day, I still drive with a full tank of gas, and I never pick up passengers at night. I'm too afraid that one of them won't pay me in money. These stories really happen to people that I know, and they're truly terrifying. So please, if you're out alone at night in the rain, be careful. You never know what might be lurking around. Let me know in the comments which story was the most frightening to you. And if you want to hear more scary stories, check out the playlist in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.